Okay, welcome back. This is my second video on taxiing and takeoff. So I'm going to go ahead and do my startup procedure. I do it the same way all the time, like in the last video I showed. Okay, I'm going to open my canopy. So my chocks are in. As I said in the first video, it's important to have chocks activated that you'll be able to turn it on, put them in and out, because when you spawn in first, if there's a crosswind, your aircraft will start drifting, and when you start up, your aircraft will start pulling as well. So it's important to have your chocks in when you start your aircraft. So I'm going to start taxiing. So I'm going to power up, but I need to come back. Once I start rolling, I need to come back to 1,000 RPMs. So start there now. RPMs there around 10. I'm using my rudder for steering. If you need to turn a bit hard or whatever, use your toe brakes. Get more response. But use the rudder. If you go above that 1,000 meters, 1,000 RPMs, you're very hard to control your aircraft and you'll end up spinning. So I'm lining up on the left side. A catch rack will usually line up on the right side. So the leader will always be on the left and catch rack will always be on the right. So throttling back, just letting my aircraft come to a stop and making sure it's in a line as well. So stop and put my chocks in. Okay, so I just want to double check that everything is good. So the radiator is fully opened. On. Up, 12 o'clock, fully opened. Close my canopy. Now I'm ready to take off. The takeoff part is one of the hardest things that most new pilots will come up against. When you start powering up your aircraft, she wants to pull you with the torque. So when you start, she'll pull to the left very, very, very hard. So what you need to do is compensate that pull with a bit of right rudder. Now, if you start off, just power up now and start rolling, it's a lot more severe. So you need to give her a little bit more rudder and balance it to keep your aircraft straight. If you keep your chocks in and power up to 2,000 RPMs, or sorry, 20,000 RPMs, and then put your chocks out, your speed, you gain speed an awful lot faster. So that severity will be for a shorter period of time. But you know, once you get your aircraft kind of, the speed of your aircraft builds up, the lesser that you need to give, you know, to compensate for the left pull. So the less right rudder you need to give it. Other guys stand on their brakes and power up and then release their brakes. I don't like doing that sometimes because the aircraft is inclined to creep a little bit to the left and the right. And then when you do release your brakes, you could be pointing a little bit just off the runway or whatever. So the way I prefer is especially when I'm taking off with a swarm or the staffel, is I keep my chocks in, and when I'm powered up fully, I just release the chocks and off I go full power. So this takeoff, I'm going to try and focus my camera or my view back a bit so you can watch what kind of pressure I have on the foot pedals and what kind of the direction of the aircraft. Takeoff speed, you need to get to about 190, 200. Don't go past 200 kilometers or you'll nose in and end up crashing. So when you get up to speed, up to about 190, 185, 190, you need to be slowly pull back on your stick. Don't pull back on your stick too hard because you'll only flop out, stall and crash. So you need to just gently pull back on your stick. You'll get your altitude. You don't have to climb like a rocket ship. Just lift her up off the ground. Your speed will keep climbing and then you can pull back a little bit more and you're airborne. So I'm going to go ahead and take off. So when I'm taking off, please watch my foot pedals. You'll see me adjusting large at the beginning, but then it'll go easy at the, I'll say at halfways, kind of 150, 120, 150. I'll be using them a lot less, just small adjustments until I'm at full speed and I don't really need to use them. The only other thing is if there is a crosswind, your aircraft may want to bank left or right. Use your stick just to compensate that a little bit. Don't go too much, it just needs to, you just need to compensate it a small bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take off. Just before I do as well, one more point. You don't need flaps in the 109 unless you're carrying a bomb and a full tank of fuel. Keep your flaps up. The only time you really use your flaps in the 109 is when you're landing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take off. I'll keep the camera at this view and you see it. So I have my chocks in. I'm going to power up. I'm at 20,000. Then I'll just keep my right rudder a little bit and then I'm just going to go shocks out, rolling, keeping my aircraft straight, small little touches. I'm afraid I'm coming over a bit too much. Now you see the way it's banking, so I use my stick just to bring it back. I'm at 190, 180 with the aircraft, so gently lift, I'm up. I'm off the ground. Now I need to get my gear up. So my gear is up. I need to throttle back, bring it back to about 1.2, just so you get up. Don't climb too heavy, just nice gradual climb. Bank left. Adjust your prop pitch back to 2.2. Look around you, make sure you're not close to other aircraft, and that's it. That's the takeoff. It takes a bit of practice. You will not get it overnight. It's something that you need to work on, and you can work on your own. Just practicing taking off and on. I know it took me probably a couple of weeks just to master it, and even for the first 6 months after that, I had the odd crash on taking off. So it's something not to be embarrassed about in the least bit. Everybody had to start somewhere, and the 109 is probably the most difficult aircraft on cliffs to go over to take off on. So keep at it and you'll get there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.